Hi, welcome to Chad's Silversmithing. Today it's time for a quick tip, and I thought I'd talk about calipers today. They're a useful tool, and I honestly didn't use them really until pretty recently, but they've become invaluable to me. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about how I use them. Before we do that, though, I need to thank some people. My patrons over on Patreon are my core group of supporters. I think they're marvelous. I have a brand new one who signed up recently. They go by Slug, so thank you, Slug, for signing up. I really appreciate it. I think you'll find that it's a great group of people over there that you can share resources with and chat with about jewelry. So enjoy getting to know the community over there. And thank you to my previous patrons for making it such a nice community in general. So thanks. The other group are my YouTube subscribers, and we just passed 26,300 and some, I think. That's an amazing number to me. I didn't ever dream I'd have that many people following my channel, but thank you for that. Thank you for the nice comments too. I really appreciate your input, suggestions for videos. The really nice comments I get from people are super encouraging for me, so thanks for that. I also do appreciate the financial help, the buy me a coffees and the super thanks and the purchases of my merch and my ebooks. That stuff all keeps my channel sustainable, and I really do appreciate the help, so thanks for that. All right, well, let's get started talking about calipers. So this is one of my design idea sketchbooks. These are available on my merch store. This particular one has some information about solder flow temperatures, different kinds of solder. And the real feature for me in these is the dot matrix in the background. That helps me to draw better pictures when I record my projects as I go. And ever since I started the YouTube channel, I started keeping a record of what I made, and I'm really glad I did, because now I can go back and find how I did something if I wanted to repeat it or do something similar without having to, recreate it from scratch, and that's kind of nice to have that record. So today we're not doing really a project, we're talking about a tool, which are these things. They're calipers. It's a measuring tool. If you're new to this, I didn't use very much measurement. I didn't measure anything really when I first started. I was kind of just eyeballing things and playing it by ear. But as I've started to make more sophisticated things over the years, it's come in handy to be able to measure pretty precise measurements. And so having some calipers is a useful tool to have in your toolkit. There's a number of things you can do with them. I'll show you a couple of different kinds. Here's my original one. I have had these ones for, I don't know, 20 or 30 years now. And these are in inches and tenths of inches and hundreds of inches and thousandths of inches. So this is a standard old-fashioned dial caliper. It has the tenths of an inch along here and then the hundredths and thousandths on the dial here. So if I go to 4 here, let's say I'm measuring the width of something. In between there, it's at a 7 on the little ruler that this is sliding on, and then you've got 50, which is, so that equals to 0.750 inches. So if you get past an inch, you'll just have to add an inch plus, like right now it's at 1 point, so 1.171 is what that equates to. So you just tag this onto the end after, so you get 1.171 basically. So it's pretty easy to use. This little knob here is how you zero it out in case this is not at 0. It allows you to move the dial a little bit, make sure that's set right to 0 when it's closed. And then let's say this is the measurement you need and you want to keep track of that. If you tighten this down here, it'll keep it from moving. So that's kind of a nice feature. And most calipers have both of those knobs. Okay. But now let's step into the modern age. I recently got these, and these are kind of cheap ones, so they're not my favorite, but they do work pretty well. The one feature that I don't like about them is that, okay, it's got a button to zero it in. So it's at 0 right now. If I move it down here, it tells me what I'm at. If I move it back here, it's not always right at 0 anymore. See, that's like 0.09 negative, so you have to re-zero it periodically. So it doesn't always maintain its perfect zeroed outness, is that a word? So, but just like the other one, it has this little knob on top, and you can secure it in place. So this one has a little thing to move it. If you want to like roll it, you can use this little knob to roll it along. So a couple of features on digital ones, this particular one anyway. This one has, right now I have it set in millimeters, which I use more frequently than I use inches and feet and yards. However, if you want to use those units, you can hit that button there and it'll change it to inches, and it'll go up to like, looks like 10 thousandths of an inch, I think. And also you can even do fractions of an inch like this. So 61 1/28, 83 1/28, 1 and 33 1/28. Let's talk about the different things you can measure with it, really. These are designed for measuring several different things. One, the width of something. So let's say I wanted to measure, this is part of my hole punching set. So let's say I wanted to know how many millimeters wide this was. Zero it out, roll it this way, just put it between there. We got, oh, we're on inches still, oops. Let's do that again. Okay. Put it in there. We got 15.8, it's probably 15.9. It's pretty close in there, 15.91, 15.88, somewhere in there. So that's how you measure the outside diameter of something, or if you wanted to measure just the width of something. Okay. These other ones on the back here, those are for measuring the inside diameter of holes. So like, if I want to measure how wide this one is, or let's do this one since it's a different size than the other one. If I roll it out like this until it just fits in there, that's 14.16. So that's probably actually 14 millimeters is what it's supposed to be. So that's kind of handy. And then there's a third way to measure stuff on this. If you want to do the depth of something, like let's see how deep these are. Let's zero it out here. If you put this little projecting rod that comes out when you're rolling it down, you can use that as a depth measurement because it's the same distance as this is right here. So that's 23.8 millimeters deep. So that's a handy way to measure the depth of a hole or something. So one of the things that you can do too, let's say you want to scribe a line on some sheet. Let's see if I can do this here. Let's say we want it to be 5 millimeters wide. See how good I am at getting this to be exactly 5 millimeters. Oops. I'm going to go at 5.1 and call it good. 5.02. That's close enough. But what you can do is if you want to scribe a straight line, you can just line it up like that, and it makes a great scribe line like that. So it's super nice for getting perfectly straight, even, equally dimensioned pieces. That's probably the way I use it the most frequently, is to scribe a line like that. Another thing you can do is you can convert from units. Now let's say I figured out that this thing was, let's undo this. Zero it back out again. Okay, so we got 15 inside. 15.88 or something like that. If I want to see how many inches that is, you can convert directly like that. It's 0.6255 inches, or 5/8 of an inch, roughly. I would say, regarding which kind you want to get, I think most people use the digital ones anymore. Although the machining and the quality of these ones from a while back is pretty well done. I mean, they took a lot of time in making sure these were really accurate. And I'm not sure that these are as accurate as those were, but if you get a cheap one like this. So I would say if you're going to get one of these, spend a little extra and get a really nice one, because they are really super handy for getting very specific measurements down to pretty small fractions of a millimeter even. So yeah, useful tool. That's one of my favorite tools, honestly. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, and maybe if you have any tricks about using these and what situations you use them in. Those are always nice to know, and I always learn cool things from you guys. So feel free to share your information as well. I'm sure other people reading the comments can benefit from it as well. All right, well, thanks for checking this out. Okay, well, I hope you found that useful. Just a simple little tip about calipers, and if you did find that useful, I'd love it if you'd hit the like button before you go. That really helps to get my channel promoted. And I'd also love it if you'd go back and visit my main channel page. I have almost 600 videos now. I've been doing 3 per week for about 4 years now. And so there's a pretty big accumulation of content over there. So check a few of them out. There's lots of projects. There's different skills at different levels. So I think you'll find something almost certainly that you'll be able to use or find interesting. And then I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel too. It doesn't cost anything. And finally, check out the video description down below. There's some important links there. There's a link to my Patreon if you want to find out more about that nice community. It's a great community full of people who are knowledgeable and friendly. So there's multiple tiers of membership, including the lowest tier, which just gets rid of the YouTube advertisements. The other tiers have some different perks like live streams and videos made exclusively for Patreon. So check it out. It's a great community, and it's a nice place to be. So maybe you want to be part of that community too. There's a link to my merch store if you want to get yourself one of those nice design idea sketchbooks that I use so frequently. There's also a number of other things in the merch store too, some mugs and some t-shirts and a few other things. So check it out and get yourself a present or two. There's also a link to my newest ebook, which is the Guide to 2025's video tutorials. It has a page for each of the videos that I did last year. The overall book has 203 pages, I think, and that equates to, I don't know, 170 or 180 video links. So it includes a link to the video. It has a picture of the sketch that I drew prior to making the project. It includes a picture of the final project, a list of materials you need to make the project, stone information if it has a stone, a difficulty rating, and then some notes I made about the project, including things like, would I do it differently after I made this? Because oftentimes I learn something when I'm making something new. Did I like the project? Was it hard? Which part of it would I change if I was going to do it again? So all sorts of great information like that. So it's a nice way to have tons of projects right at your fingertips, and a super nice way to support my channel. So thanks for that. All right, well, take care. Happy silversmithing.